How many coins does it take to crash Super Mario 3D World? A question most of us have woken up in the dead of night pondering about. Just how many oversized golden slabs does it take to break Mario's universe? To bring the game to a crashing halt? Well, today you're in luck, because using my perceptive intellectual ability, I predicted you'd be asking that question, and I went ahead and did all the work. This is a collection of my premium coin research. Along the way, we'll be covering all sorts of weird coin tidbits too. So if you love money, you've come to the right place. We have quite a few things to cover, so let's get started. Coins. Sometimes they are impossible, locked behind the constraints of a level they're within, and other times they are so abundant you honestly don't even care about them. But if there's one thing that Mario games have, it's coins. So in Super Mario 3D World, coins relatively behave the same way as most Mario games. They're all shiny and golden, and collecting 100 of them grants you an extra life. But other than that, they're kind of pointless. So I wanted to see just how many coins I could spawn before the game exploded, which is a common theme on this channel, so I decided to overtake World 1's Toad House. This involved deleting Toad from existence and clearing out all his clutter. I placed a coin in as a test, but then I realized that my Toad House was already cleared on my save. So I decided, even though we evicted Toad, that we were going to move over to the mini-boss area instead. This level was repeatable, so I set up shop here. I wanted to use these smaller maps because their total object count was very small in comparison to other larger maps. If a game has less things to process normally, that means we can typically get it to process more of the things we want it to. So I started stacking hundreds of coins in one spot, as you can tell by me gaining several extra lives while collecting them. But while raising the coin count higher and higher, I realized something interesting. So even though it looked like one single coin, obviously there were hundreds hidden within. But I noticed that once the coin count climbed over 500 individual coins, that my character no longer collected them all instantaneously. In fact, I could walk through the coins and not collect them all. So apparently there must be some sort of object interaction threshold when it comes to coins, and for some reason it's set absurdly high. So I started to push the number higher and higher. I also want to change the orientation of the coins to make this massive pile more interesting. The problem is, altering hundreds of coins individually is a nightmare, so I had to do it in clusters. I decided to essentially rotate the coins into what eventually became a ball. This ball was now nearing 1,000 coins. As with each tweak I made, I tested the threshold more and more. So a quick fun fact about coins. Despite me rotating the coins into a ball, in the game the coins actually rotate from a different anchor point. So instead of spawning in from the middle of the coin, they load in, and the rotation takes place from the bottom middle of the coin. This doesn't change the rotation at all, but it causes the coins to space out, because what was once the absolute middle is now the bottom middle. What you're left with is this coin art. And as we pump up the size of these coins more and more, we begin to create what looks like the portal to a world of coins. It's kind of neat because you can stand inside of it and you get fully eclipsed. And then the game crashed. Not because of an unstable coin portal, but because I tried upping the coin count. So apparently, once you have over 1,000 coins, the game doesn't like that, and it crashes upon booting up the level. But this is not the end of our story, because there's a workaround to make the coin count go even higher. So single rotating gold coins are cool, but not as cool as coin stacks. So a coin stack in Super Mario 3D World essentially consists of 5 coins stacked together. If multiple stacks are stacked, when the player collects the bottom stack, the top parts will fall down as the individual coins shift. But when we up the threshold, things get pretty darn interesting. So much like Goomba Towers, the odd cousins of the coin stack, the upper limit of coin stacks is, well, up there. I kept pushing the stack higher and higher, expecting the game to break. Keep in mind that Goomba stacks crash out at around the 400 or so mark, but coin stacks did not tap out that early. A stack of 400 individual coins equals 2,000 coins though, already double what the crashing rate of individual coins were. As I continuously scaled up the stack, trying to figure out the crashing limit, I did discover some interesting quirks. So coin stacks are always staggered in placement, and the coin stacks that spawn going upward always rotate a few degrees differently than the ones below it. Coin stacks that are massive in size act like a giant row of dominoes too. And if you collect a few coins at the bottom, you can hear the entire stack shuffling all the way up like a deck of cards. These coins typically spawn with a golden glow too. And this glow intensifies on the very bottom stack based on how many stacks are placed upon it. To make things even more bizarre, rotating a coin stack actually balances all the coins in a way that doesn't make sense. Each individual stack is rotated, and those stacks are what are piled up. Collecting these makes the same thing happen as before. So as I pushed further and further, I eventually found a breaking point, to the degree of a 1 stack difference causing the game to crash. And the magic number? 720 coin stacks, which brings our grand, massive, almost game-breaking tower to a record 3,600 coins tall. Far taller than the Goomba Tower we covered in a previous video by almost double. Not only does it take several minutes to collect this massive stack, but it rewards us with 360,000 points and 36 extra lives. One more coin stack and the game breaks on load. And with that, we've reached the final answer. Super Mario 3D World crashes from 1,000 normal coins or 3,600 stacked coins, possibly depending on which map is used. I hope you enjoyed this bizarre adventure, and I'll see you all in my next video real soon. Cheers.